We're in a position to finally get a chance to play them. And I think it'd be great for both teams and both institutions.
It will be good for the fans. It'll be good for the people that have been wanting so long. I think it'll be good for the media. I think it'll just be good for the state of Kentucky.
I just feel good being able to play anybody on Saturday. But, you know, the fans of Kentucky were looking for this game.
Well, we're just going to take it as another step going to Albuquerque.
And dream game number 1 was a step toward Albuquerque for Louisville, but it didn't come easily. A nip-and-tuck affair that was deadlocked after the 40-minute regulation period.
We just talked about execution, about doing things right, and that, you know, if we executed, did things the way we'd done them all year, that we'd be all right.
The Cards were all right in overtime as things fell apart for UK. The Cats weren't able to handle the Cards' full-court pressure defense, and UofL celebrated an 80-68 win.
For Rodney, it's going to be 3 years. He's probably the only person who's been 3 years ever since Kareem and Welton. And I told Milton Manuel they're going to be spoiled because their first 2 years, they go to Final Four both years in a row.
We're not ashamed of anything. You know, Louisville was a great team, and I think they're probably the best team in the country. So I think that means a lot to say for us because we came out and we played them tough.
It's just a game that I enjoyed because it was great competitors out there, and everybody played hard, and it wasn't what people thought it was going to be, a bunch of fighting and crying and stuff like that. It was just a hard game.
Kentucky's revenge would come exactly 8 months later. These two teams opened their season on the Rupp Arena floor. And this Wildcat squad of Bowie, Turpin, Walker, Master, Beal, and company walked away 21-point winners, 65-44.
4, 3, 2, 1. It is over. Kentucky has hammered Louisville.
And come March, these two teams would meet again and again at Rupp, this time in the semifinals of the Mideast Regional. Louisville played much tougher, but the Cats again prevailed, 72-67.
It means a lot to me to be able to play a Louisville team with great caliber. You know a Denny Crum team's going to be ready by tournament time, and they proved it tonight.
We had our chance to win, and we just didn't get the ball to go down and missed a couple of free throws, and it's just one of those things. But you can't say we didn't play. You can't say we didn't play.
Louisville is an extremely fine ball club. They played their hearts out tonight. It was a great game. It was fun. I was glad to be out there, and my hat's off to them. I wish them the best of luck in the future.
Coach Crum said to us life after basketball, and I believe he has. He taught us that you're not going to win every night, and it's just like in everyday life, you're going to lose some battles or whatever. You're going to have ups and downs, and so you got to keep going.
Here's Sumter against Bennett. Sumter, baseline jumper, no good. Thompson the rebound. His follow, no good. Rebound by McSwain, no good. Thompson again is good.
Early the following season, the two teams met for the first time ever in Freedom Hall, and Louisville would even the modern-day series at 2 games apiece. This was a close affair. Louisville led by only 3 with under 3 minutes to play, but then pulled away to a 71-64 win.
After you watch the videotape of the game and you see how many mistakes you make, you think, boy, we need to show this to the players because all the little things that we didn't do right could make the game a 15, 20-point game. And Kentucky can look at the film and say, gee, look at all these things we didn't do right. We could have beat them by 10 if we'd have just executed.
The following December, it would be the Wildcats who executed best. Behind Winston Bennett's 23 points, the Cats went back ahead 3 games to 2 in the 80s, the 69-64 victory.
I think you'd have to be abnormal if you didn't get a little bit of butterflies in your stomach when you come in a great game, a big game like this one where it's on national TV and you have so many people looking at you. But once you step on that court and get into the floor of the ball game, you usually forget all about it.
Nobody's on the floor of the game like Winston Bennett today.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, and I'm glad that I could go out and provide a pretty good offensive game as well as a pretty good defensive game.
2 years ago, Kentucky pulled off the surprise of this series. Freshman sensation Rex Chapman led the way with 26 points. Ed Davender fired in 16 as Freedom Hall belonged to the Wildcats. A 34-point win for Kentucky, 85-51.
One of my problems will be in our coaching staff is to try to get these guys back down to earth because our players are wonderful young men, but it was a big win for them. And now we start SEC play, and Georgia is an outstanding basketball squad. So we'll just hope that tomorrow and the next day that our staff can get their heads out of the clouds and make them understand that we've got to win all of our games at home in order to have a chance to win the SEC.
And then last year came another surprise. A game many believed Kentucky would win big was a very close affair. Herb Crook helped keep the Cards close with 24. Purvis Ellison pitched in 20. Chapman again led the Wildcats with 21. Davender had 20. But it was Cedric Jenkins' tip-in, his only 2 points of the game, that gave the Cats a 76-75 win.
Well, they were real conscious of where the ball was. They knew that either Ed or Rex was going to take the shot, so I'm sure they were concentrating on them. And it got kind of hectic. Our play fell down, and it was a lane wide open for me.
It means more to a lot of fans here than other fans, but it means a lot to me, and it means a lot to Purvis. What people don't realize, we're from the same town, and I'm up 2-0, so when I go home, yeah, they can't say nothing to me.
We got to learn from our mistakes, but I think we went out there and proved everybody that we were a good team and that we had a chance to beat the